It has been 12 years since tragedy struck South Miami. And these are just a few of the kids that are in attendance tonight, and these are just a few of those kids that still do not have a home to live in. And it is because of that TNT Sports has come to the Miami Arena to participate in the efforts to rebuild this great South Florida community. Hello, everybody. I'm Ron Thulin. So glad you can be with us for this very special evening tonight right here on TNT. The NBA, the Chicago Bulls, and the Miami Heat have all joined forces to bring you this exhibition basketball game between the world champion Chicago Bulls and the Miami Heat. It is all our effort, our part, to try to help the We Rebuild effort here in South Florida. Joining me tonight and throughout the NBA season, again, Hubie Brown. Hubie, outside of the fact we have an excellent game, we've got an excellent team in the Chicago Bulls. They're looking for a three-peat, and they've made a couple of additions.
Oh, they sure have. They picked up Rodney McRae from Dallas in the offseason to help them at small forward, and also Trent Tucker to give them the range to replace Craig Hodges in the backcourt at the two-guard behind Michael Jordan. This is a fantastic basketball team that relies on its defense to get itself out in the open floor. There's no more exciting fast break in basketball when you see Pippen and Jordan coming at you. It's a team that relies on the defense to get it going, and then they are beautiful to watch in the execution of the half-court play.
Well, of course, the Miami Heat, they tasted the playoffs last year. They are a young team, but they want to move up to the next level.
This is really a very talented basketball team. When you say Rice, Cycli, and Smith, you have three of the best young players in the league. In the draft, they picked up Minor from USC, going to be a star down the road. And then a terrific addition, John Sally at 7 foot, shot blocking rebounder from Detroit, a free agent, and now this gives them the shot blocking which they have missed through the years. Now what do they need? They need to do better rebounding and a little better defense in the backcourt, but it should be a great year.
Well, we should have a very entertaining night. A lot of people have put a lot of effort to bring you this game tonight, and the man who spearheaded it all is with our Craig Sager right now. Craig?
Well, Ron, the man who originated and spearheaded the idea is one Michael Jordan. It happened on a golf course sometime this summer with Billy Cunningham, and look at what it's involved into.
Well, I think it's great. I mean, we should come together and try to help out some of these unfortunate situations, and this is one that I just felt that, you know, my hands involved would make a big difference. And, you know, with Billy Cunningham and with the NBA and with Chicago Bulls and the Miami Heat organization, we put this game together, and I think everybody's going to benefit from it.
South of here is a tropical landscape that is just now devastated. You can see where Hurricane Andrew has been through. You've been able to talk to some of the kids. What are some of the touching moments you found today and talking with some of these youngsters?
Well, the kids, they're very upbeat, you know, and they don't they really don't know what happened, but it's so shocking. A lot of people really don't know what happened, and but they're very positive. And I think with something like this, where they can get the chance to come and take their minds away from that incident just for one night, it's going to be something that they can really use, I guess, for the positive aspect.
You received a lot of awards, had a lot of honors, a lot of accolades. Congratulations tonight on having the biggest heart in the NBA.
Well, thanks. I think the kids are going to benefit from it.
They certainly are, and throughout this evening, we're going to be talking about a telethon. There's a telephone number, 800-551-1010. We'll be seeing you at halftime, talking to some of the other people who have originated and spearheaded this great We Will Rebuild campaign here at the Miami Arena.
Throughout the evening, we will be showing you a lot of pictures of young people just like this, that, believe it or not, 8 weeks later still have no place to live, living in tents or at relatives' houses. And we urge you again to please call the 1-800 number you will be seeing throughout the night and donate the money. Don't forget these people down here. There is still a lot to rebuild. Now let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup. And for the Chicago Bulls, first of all, the only name missing from the 5 that started the championship series is Bill Cartwright. Stacey King getting the nod at center.
Well, Bill Cartwright had surgery to his left knee to clean out the bone chips that he had. He could play this evening, but they're going to hold him back until the end of next week.
Now, of course, we see John Sally getting the starting nod at forward, moving Ronnie Cycli over to center for Miami.
Well, you know, that's a good move for them, except Grant Long, a player who has terrific numbers for them. The third leading scorer, second leading rebounder here, has not signed. So Cycli is getting major minutes. But when they get both of them in camp, this is going to be a nice front line.
And the head coach of the Chicago Bulls, Phil Jackson, who has a lot of difficult choices to make in the next couple of weeks as he begins his cuts. And, of course, for the Miami Heat, just nappily dressed. See, he's been in Miami too long. Look at that attire. He didn't wear that when he coached Atlanta. Kevin Lockery, our good friend and former TBS announcer. And we like to mention, too, that Steve Smith of Miami is not here. And, boy, what a blow for the Miami Heat over the weekend.
Well, they just had arthroscopic surgery on his knee. He was injured last season, came back, continued to play, was never the same player. This year, first exhibition game, played extremely well, and then they went in, opened up the knee. Now, how long will he be out? He will not start rehabilitation until tomorrow. They're talking anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 weeks, and he is the key, the glue to this young basketball team. When Steve Smith arrived, he's the one that with the pinpoint passing and also the outstanding three-point shooting. A terrific player.
And Daryl Garrettson, Derek Stafford, and Sean Corbin will be officiating tonight's game, and we are so glad that you can be with us tonight as we kick off our NBA coverage with this exhibition game between the Heat and the Bulls. This is an extra exhibition game, we might add, number 9 for these teams. All the proceeds tonight, ticket sales, everything, go to the We Will Rebuild program here in the Miami area.
And you know, Ron, picking up that extra game is not an easy thing to do. They had to get, it had to be sanctioned by the NBA. Also, both ball clubs had to agree to it because it's one over the limit of 8.
John Paxson, coming off surgery himself in the offseason, gets his first 2 of the ball game. He averaged 7 points a game last year.
Now Miami likes to keep the middle open. They run what we call a passing game, a lot of passing and cutting.
Edwards takes it strong to the hole, and he is hammered. Kevin Edwards, the former #1 pick of the Miami Heat back in 1988. That foul was on Jordan. That's his first.
Well, right now, the Miami, it really has some competition at the guard position. When you think of Smith, Rice, Bimbo Coles, Brian Shaw, Edwards, who's on the line, Minor, their first-round draft choice from USC, John Morton, a first-round draft choice from Cleveland, who's down here, and then a player by the name of Funchess, who really is the top defensive guy here. So we're talking 8 guys at the guard position, and all of them can play.
Just not enough minutes for all those guys right now. Stacey King way out front. Cycli comes to meet him. Shot clock at 10. Pippen scoops underneath, and Horace Grant with the first jam.
A little surprise here. Chicago did not open up with the triangle offense. Now, wait a second. That time they were in the passing game with the middle open, but, you know, Chicago will always make the extra pass.
Cycli backing up on Stacey King. King puts enough body on him for him to miss it. Here comes Paxson leading the break. 4-2, Bulls lead it by 2. Played just over a minute. Jordan for the 3 doesn't get it.
Miami must improve their defensive rebounding. And that way they'll get out in the open floor and get some easy baskets. Last year it was their Achilles heel.
Brian Shaw, who spent the summer working on his jump shot. Sally's pass kicked out of bounds by Grant with 8 on the shot clock. It'll be Miami's ball. Miami finished the year last year 38-44. Of course, the Bulls 67-15, 15-7 in the playoffs. Shot clock at 3. Edwards lets it fly, and nothing but net.
Edwards is a streak shooter, and that's the problem with the majority of the Miami guards. They do not have that consistency to shoot over 50%.
A 3 by Pippen.
Scottie Pippen, 3-pointer.
Miami gave up a lot of points last year, 109 a game. That was 5th worst in the league. Shaw tries to take it strong to the hole.
Well, their big problem last year was the defensive boards, Ron. Teams would shoot, miss, go to the offensive glass and put the ball back in, and consequently the opponent shot 49%. Well, that's something that you must improve on, and today, talking with Kevin, that's the first point that he brings up. We must improve our defensive rebound, because Ron Cycli is not that tall. You know, they measured him this year without his shoes on, and he's only 6'9½". That shocked everyone. So when you put him in there, and then their small forward goes about 6'7", and they need Grant long, but he also is not a shot blocker.
They're hoping Sally, who's blocked 100 shots 5 out of 6 seasons, they're hoping he picks up that role. Stacey King from about 17. The former Oklahoma star hits his first 2.
Well, you know, they'd like to see him mature, right? Get a little bit tougher and be more consistent.
Glen Rice wasn't afraid to throw up three-pointers last year. Misses on his first attempt tonight. Bulls lead it 9-5. Paxson over Shaw, comes up short.
Good defensive play that time by Shaw because he did get a piece of that shot.
Inside, King uses the left hand.
Cannot fall asleep with the Bulls. The Bulls, you know, they maximize that clock. Everybody hustles.
Michael Jordan right around Shaw, who has to grab a piece of MJ.
See, last year in the playoffs, Ron, when they played in that first round, Chicago beats them 3 games to nothing. They outscore them by 18 points, 117 to 99. And the big thing is, Chicago killed them in the open floor. They were always in transition. See, young teams have a tendency to shoot too quick, and then, especially from outside, that gives a long rebound, and that's death when you have the Bulls, because they'll finish. Speaking of finishing,
I'll tell you, he's one of the best. Chicago now 6 of 8 from the floor as they open up the biggest lead of the game at 8. Sally on Grant. The fall away right-hander off the glass nicely.
Whenever you run the passing game and you do not have designated areas, what happens is congestion, and we're seeing that at Miami's offensive end of the floor. The lane is very crowded.
Stacey King tries to face up to the basket, has to kick it back out to Paxson. Jordan being guarded by Edwards, now posts him up down low. Michael with 4 on the shot clock. Michael with 2 on the shot clock. Paxson's going to have to let it go. No, they say the shot clock went off. Miami's ball.
Well, the luxury that you have with Michael, not only is he the premier offensive player, but he's also right there, either 1 or 2 or 3, as the best defensive player in this league. And everybody takes for granted that he always stops your second guard from scoring in the big games.
Daryl Garrison blows the whistle. With 8:04 remaining in the first, Bulls lead at 13-7.
Bull foul, number 21, Stacey King.
Stacey King picks up his first.
Team's third.
Third team foul this evening.
Last year in the playoffs, Ron Seikaly averaged 20 points a game against Chicago. But what you really liked about it is he shot 11 foul shots. They should be going to him, because there is no way that Stacey King can play him down there. He'll get an easy shot like that every time. He's too strong, Ron.
And the coaching staff said tonight that this is a test for Stacey King. They want to see if, as you mentioned, if he's going to bring his game up another level this year, because he has to. It's a must situation. Pippen off the glass, in and out. Right into the hands of Grant, and he's got it, as you mentioned. Defensive rebound.
Defensive rebounding, and we've seen it. That's the 3rd second shot score for the Chicago Bulls, and we haven't even played 5 minutes.
That's a welcome sight for Kevin Lockery, as Brian Shaw hitting his first 2. They were really concerned that he had too many nights where he went 1 for 7 last year and 2 for 8.
The Bulls, very good transition defensive team. Jordan and Pippen are back all the time.
Rice pulls it up, rattles it home. Glen Rice, who averaged 22 points a game during the regular season last year, gets his first 2. Chicago leads 4. There you see the time remaining, 6:52.
Chicago running their triangle offense now. They'll cut through. There's a beautiful offside screen by Michael Jordan on Grant.
Sally got a piece of him. He's whistled for the foul. We've got a timeout on the court. 6:42 remaining in the first quarter. The Bulls lead at 15-11. That's the number to call, 1-800-551-1010. Please call. They need money. They need supplies here in South Florida. We'll be back.
Welcome back to the Miami Arena, where the world champion Bulls lead the Miami Heat by 4. The best seats in the house are usually the most expensive, reserved for business leaders, sports figures, and entertainers. But instead of Wayne Huizenga, Jimmy Buffett, Jack Nicklaus, what you have tonight, Travis Watts and his buddies. And Travis, what do you think about the game tonight and what's going on?
That Bulls gonna win.
They're up so far. Did you get to see Michael Jordan?
Yes.
Well, Travis and his friends are part of the families that live in the tent cities, their homes completely ruined by Hurricane Andrew. Tonight, they are front and center in the We Will Rebuild campaign, and Travis is also front row. Ron?
All right, Craig, thanks very much. 160,000 people left homeless. There are still 5 schools that are yet to open in South Florida. For those of you, we might add, that are taping this because you'd rather watch three guys discuss the world and are watching this about midnight, sitting there with your chips, please call. The phones are manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So when you see the number on your screen, if you're watching this on a tape, please take the time to call. Grant makes them both. He now has 6, and here's the famous pressure put on by Chicago. Rice inside, the double pump, won't get it, but he gets the foul.
Well, anytime that a team presses you full court and you can get out of the first trap, I thought Miami did an excellent job. Push the ball and don't be satisfied with getting it over half court. Attack the basket. Even though it's a 2-on-1 tight, attack it and go to the hole, because there you're proving to them that they must rotate, and then also they're going to foul you and put you on the foul line.
Rice 84% from the line last year.
Well, he had a great season last year. There's no doubt about it. Led the team in scoring 22 points a game, and he shot 47%, and he did a good job on the foul line, 84%. They need him up front, Ron, because he's an excellent rebounder. He was the 3rd leading rebounder in the team last year, averaging 5. So if you get 5 out of your small forward, that's a pretty good job today.
Well, you said shoot 47%, but he shot almost 400 3-pointers. So when you shoot 47 overall, that's pretty good. Cycling may have gotten a piece of that.
You got a piece of that and a piece of the arm.
Yep.
What do they call that? No respect.
No respect. No respect. Rice looks inside to Cycling. Edwards, the running right-hander, won't go. Grant tips it. Edwards tracks it down. They give him the baseline. Shaw for 3. Count it.
They say Shaw, big improvement over the summer. Worked extremely hard on his outside game. Kevin Lockery and his staff very, very happy with what they've seen early in this exhibition season.
Horace Grant answers from the outside. Horace, who wants to be a little bit more the focal point of the offense, gets a few more shots, taking advantage of the ones he gets tonight.
There you go. You got to find a guy. You got to find a big man. Now he's left too short, Ron, but he's there. You know what I'm saying? Once he gets in the groove, that's an automatic too.
Only been in camp just over a week, we might want to mention. And Michael Jordan gets on the board. He has 2. The Bulls' lead is 5, and we're nearing the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. Along with Craig Sager and Hubie Brown, I'm Ron Thulin at the Miami Arena. Glad you can be with us tonight. It's part of the We Will Rebuild campaign.
That was a beautiful back screen. Both defenders went for the player coming out. Sally wide open, but he could not handle the pass.
We will see a lot of new names tonight for both teams. Starters getting the whole first quarter of playing time so far. Jordan, the turnaround, rattles it home.
Michael Jordan.
So Michael Jordan, who was the center of controversy following the Olympics, saying that he may not be playing in some of the exhibition games as Kevin Edwards takes it strong and home. There was a little bit of grumbling among the troops that Michael was not going to have to practice because of the Olympics. So he is playing tonight. King has it knocked away by Edwards. Looked like all ball.
Well, you see, once again, when the shot came off the glass, all we saw were red shirts in the picture, and you just can't have that. If 2 guys are going to go for the shot block, then the guards must come back in and help out. Now, there's the staff. Tex Winter on the left, in charge of the offense, the creator of the triangle offense for the Chicago Bulls. Phil Jackson in the middle, and then Johnny Bach on the right, the old coach who was at Penn State and Fordham for many years, and then had suffered a slight heart attack at the end of last season, was only available for the ball club near the end of the playoffs. But it's a great 3-man staff along with Jimmy Clemens.
Stacey King now has 6. The Bulls up the lead to 7 inside of 4.5 minutes.
See, the Bulls sometimes will give you a zone press in the backcourt and then sometimes man-to-man.
Sally, a wild shot to no avail. That will be a loose ball foul called on Miami. Chicago's ball.
Loose ball on number 22, John Sally.
Sally's second.
His second, team foul number 4.
See, whenever you run the passing game, John Sally right there is saying, what did I just do? He said, I did a pirouette in the air.
It was ugly.
Yeah. And the problem is many times you run the passing game, a guy gets open, but he's not accustomed to receiving the ball in that area. And then he's kind of flustered, especially big guys when they have to put it down.
That was good hustle by Stacey King and Ronnie Cycli, and it'll be Cycli whistled for the foul. That time he gets the rebound, but he didn't protect the ball. Let's look at it again.
We're going to see a lot of hustle here by Cycli. See, he's their main guy, the main guy down inside. And last year, when you think about the playoffs, he's the only guy up front who really could get his numbers. He shot over 50%. He was on the foul line 11 times, which is a ton. He scored over 20 points. He did an outstanding job. He averaged double figures in rebounding, 10 a game. Now, that's tough to do against the Chicago Bulls. So he played big. Unfortunately, outside of he and Steve Smith, no one else could get their numbers, and that's why they got blown away in 3. But nobody here would not take the experience that they all got from that.
That's right. In fact, we talked to Louis Chaffel today, Billy Cunningham, and Kevin, and said, would you have rather been in the lottery? And it was unanimous. We would have liked to if we could have gotten Shaquille, but hey, we're not going to trade what these guys went through, because now they realize, and they saw how strong Michael Jordan is despite playing those 82 regular season games. They know what it takes now.
I thought that was an interesting point, that all the young players were impressed with the physical strength of Pippen and Jordan at playoff time.
From the corner, Edwards doesn't get it. Grant does. The Bulls on the run. Pippen, King, and Paxson. Jordan. 10-point lead. That's Chicago's biggest of the ball game. King on Cycli. He gets a piece of it. Luckily, Glen Rice kept it alive.
You see, you have a 3-on-2. You've got to make the damage. Good defense by Paxson.
Shaw for another 3. Comes up short. Goes over the top, and it'll be Chicago's ball with 3:10 remaining in the first. Chicago on an 11-2 run, and we'll have our first substitution of the game. B.J. Armstrong will come in. A 4th-year pro out of Iowa, but not yet. Not quick enough, B.J. Another turnover.
See, Miami, they've had the chances here, Ron, but they just cannot execute. You can see it right there. Terrible pass by Sally. All right, but it's been happening time and time again. They just do not make the pass once they get inside of the circle that is going to lead to the conversion.
About 50 feet from the main playing court here at the Miami Arena is our telethon room. We have operators standing by, and there is the number, 1-800-551-1010. The biggest fear that the people here in Miami have, talking to them the last couple of days and also visiting with them last week, that people will forget about them down here, especially come the months of November, December, and January. Please, let's not forget. We have seen the devastation. And Hubie, you and I've seen it just riding around. It doesn't translate on television. It is absolutely the most incredible, tragic sight I've ever seen.
Yeah, and everyone, that's all they talk about. I don't care who you are. Like Billy Cunningham said today, the majority of the people who work for Miami Heat all live in the southern part. And they all have either within their own families or very close friends and families whose homes are totally destroyed or 75% destroyed. And then everyone will talk about the lines, where you have 250,000 people living in tents, and also the fact that people are standing in line for water, for supplies, for food. Very, very, very disheartening.
So please make the call. We'd really appreciate it tonight. Once again, the phones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and if you have the means to come down here and help, they still need help. Sally needs help with a jump shot if anybody has that at home.
Well, it's nice to see Miami come out of the timeout and go to an inside game.
Grant inside and rolls around into the hands of Sally. Here comes Shaw leading the break. He has Edwards and Cycli. Cycli beating Purdue down, but he tosses it to the wrong man. Shaw commits his second.
What you're seeing here is a young, talented team in Miami that's running wild. The horses are wild. They just can't make a good pass. Now here guy's open. What happens? Bad pass. He has to throw the ball back. No white shirts. Well, anytime that you launch a long jump shot against the Bulls and you don't complete it, they're in the open floor. Anytime that you make a bad pass on the break and don't make them pay for not getting back, now they're back at you again. And what is happening is that Miami is fouling in the backcourt so that the Bulls will not get it over half court for a layup. So now what do we have? They're shooting the penalty.
And we look at Michael Jordan, who has shot at least 52% from the floor the last 5 years. Right now, Jordan with 8 points. Miami has scored, however, only 2 points in the last 3.5 minutes as the Bulls went on a 13-2 run. They've upped the lead to 12.
Well, they're going to half-court sets right now.
Rice has got to get going. Good rebound by Sally, and he's fouled.
See, in the NBA, when you run half-court sets, you know who your designated offensive rebounders are. Many times when you run the passing game, forwards are outside, the shot goes up, they're not in good rebounding position. What happens? No one on the offensive board for you. Here comes the defensive team fast breaking at the other end of the floor. But it's nice. They just come out of this timeout. They've run 2 excellent half-court plays, soft shots at the basket, and they're on the glass.
John Sally, 71% from the line for the Pistons last year. Sally came over in a trade back in September. Check that August for Isaiah Morris, a draft pick out of Arkansas, who was part of Miami. Sally now with 3 points. The lead is cut down to 11.
Right now, Miami picking up over half court. Kevin said this is something that we're going to try to work on this year, that our guards get better defensively. Run some seconds off the shot clock.
Oh, Michael Jordan, it was vintage.
How about the fact that they've posted him 4 times already in this first quarter?
I like it. Shaw looks for Rice. Pippen on him. Scottie Pippen, a member of the all-defensive second team. Well, Rice connects with only his second field goal of the evening. He has 6 points for the ballgame. But Chicago quickly down. Jordan wants the foul, and he gets it. Here's Michael Jordan the last time down the court.
And you're going to see him posting up. This is the 4th time they've put him down in here now. Now watch how he head fakes and he just steps up inside. And then with all of the dips he do in the last second release of the basketball, he's so difficult to defend down there. It doesn't matter whether you're 6'3" or whether you're 6'7", he's still going to get off a quality shot.
A rare miss for Michael.
You know, we're sitting courtside right at half court. And the thing which is impressive, this is the Bulls' 3rd exhibition game. Grant, Pippen, and Jordan are playing defense like it is playoff time.
That's right.
It's just jumping at you. How quick they are, how quick they're doubling people. And you would say, well, you know, it's only an exhibition. Why are they working so hard? Well, that's why they're a championship ball club, and they are the premier defensive team in the league.
It takes work. It begins in October. A first look at Rodney McRae, number 22 for Chicago, formerly of the Dallas Mavericks, checks in. Scottie Pippen takes a seat. Outside, Rice shot won't go. B.J. Armstrong comes down with the ball. Goes up strong. The glass is kind to B.J.
Well, 3-point shots are pretty when they're going in and you're having a run.
Cycli beats everybody down the court, but can't get the reverse layup to go down.
That's the 3rd one he's missed underneath. But when you miss those threes, baby, you know that the Bulls are out there, and they are doing nothing but blowing them out and converting.
Inside of 40 seconds, Rice for another 3, doesn't get it. Jordan knocks Sally down, stolen by Shaw, dribbles it off his leg. B.J. tackled by Brian Shaw, and that will be Shaw's 4th personal foul here in the first quarter.
Michael Jordan
just made a very bad pass into the middle of the court. And then what happens is you're going to see this. Now just watch as they come over here. Now watch Michael. Michael is trying to make a pass, and he guesses wrong. He throws right. Now watch him come right back inside here now, all right, to try to help out. If Shaw was going up for that shot, Michael would have been right there for a shot block, or at least an opportunity.
As B.J. Armstrong goes to the line to shoot a pair, Michael Jordan sits down with 11 points.
It was nice to see Paxson get some quality time. He played 10 minutes tonight. He played 6 minutes the other night in their second game. And I asked him, how long do you think you're going to go tonight? He said, I really don't know. I'm going to try and push it for a normal rotation. And he did. He got in his 10-minute swing. B.J. Armstrong off to a good start, averaging 10 points in their first 2 exhibition games.
B.J. gets them both. Bimbo Coles has checked into Miami's lineup wearing number 12. Also checking in for Chicago, Corey Williams wearing number 12. Sally over the timeline. He has Cycli on the left, inside Rice. A little reverse. French pastry doesn't get it. Sally can't clean it up.
Look out.
Williams pushes it to Pippen. Inside of 15 seconds. Chicago by 16.
Now Phil Jackson right off told Scottie, pull it out, run for the last shot. Get the last shot.
Armstrong nails it with 2.9 on the game clock. B.J. now with 8. Edwards will let it fly at the buzzer. It's the front of the iron. Won't go. We have played 12 minutes at the Miami Arena trying to help rebuild South Dade. And the Bulls lead it by 18. Midway through the first period, Chicago led by 1, but now they are up by 18 as we are just about set to start quarter number 2. As we mentioned, Hurricane Andrew touched all the lives. Ronnie Cycli made his way down to South Florida to help out, as did Alan Ogg, to help deliver food to the families and just try to do their part. Louis Chaffel, also of the Miami Heat, also lending a helping hand. Cycli said it just wasn't enough. There is Ron Culp, the trainer of Miami. He lost his house. His 5-year-old daughter still has trouble sleeping through the night. And while he was telling it today, tears filled his eyes. It was a touching moment we spent today with Ron.
He said, you know, people think that the wind just blows away the house. All it did was rip off many shingles up at the top of the roof. And then once the wind got inside, the air got inside the house, it just blew out the different walls. And then they had walls falling, and his father was hit and ripped his ear. And Ron stitched his dad up using a flashlight, all right, in the dark. And you know, you talk to him, and he's still emotionally upset. They're renting a home. They're trying to rebuild their own. He said the insurance problems you have. But then he said, hey, I have it good. The people who are living in the tents have absolutely nothing. And you're talking over 250,000 people.
Right. Which is bigger than Flint, Michigan, when you think about it. A lot of new players in the lineup. Corey Williams dishes off to Pippen, the only regular left in the lineup for the Chicago Bulls. They have Williams, Pippen, McRae, B.J. Armstrong. Miami goes with Matt Geiger, who comes out to meet McRae. Purdue, who's fouled by Alan Ogg. Willie Burton also into the lineup. And our first look at Baby Jordan, wearing number 32 for the Miami Heat, their first-round pick, Harold Miner. Now, Dr. Jack Ramsey, who we all respect, he is very high on this guy, as are a lot of people.
Yes, they really like his talent. He's a great ball handler, an explosive jumper. Right now, Chicago shot 64% for the first quarter. Miami, 28%.
Purdue's turnaround won't find the net. Ogg gets a big hand up. Will tries it again. Third time is a charm for the big star from Vanderbilt.
See, we can't say it enough. They know this is their major problem. Right now, you have Ogg in there at 7 foot. You have Geiger in there at 7 foot. Two guys who are fighting to try to make this club. But you see, Ogg, you've got to put a body on the man. The man shot, and then he got inside. Now watch him go again. See, Geiger and Ogg have not put a body on Will Purdue yet. You got to give Purdue a lot of credit. He sat on the pines here for a long time, but once he got his chance, he's really done an excellent job off the bench for Chicago. He'll put his body on people. He keeps his arms high. He works very hard.
That is what Harold Miner does best. He just elevates over everyone else and then uses the left hand.
Good thing you remember about him.
is he can go wherever he wants off the dribble. Very, very talented dribbler, and then an acrobatic shooter inside of 15 feet.
Ricky Blanton, who's checked in for Scottie Pippen. Shot won't go down. Blanton spent some time with Phoenix. He's had some injury problems. We've got a whistle, and I think that'll be on Rodney McRae.
Yeah, down inside. McRae is, you know, let's face it, there's a big size factor there. McRae at about 6'7", playing Geiger at 7 foot. Geiger, the rookie on the second round out of Georgia Tech. They're very high on him here. But if he's going to play the center position, he's going to have to get a little bit stronger, or how should I say, a lot stronger in the upper body.
They like his aggressiveness, and that was one of the raps on Matt Geiger coming out of Georgia Tech. They didn't feel he was really aggressive, but Kevin Lockery says that has not been the case.
Right there, Minor being played by B.J. Armstrong right to the low post. No way B.J. Armstrong can play a stud. This guy is really put together.
It's surprising how far he went down in the draft.
See, he's got a lot of this between the leg stuff. See, I like what Kevin Lockery said today. He's got a lot of talent, but he floats on his shot. Now, you see, that time he elevated, Ron, and he floated back. Well, you just cannot be a great shooter if you're going to choose the release area every single time you shoot.
He said Steve Smith also floated, but not nearly as much, he said, as Harold Miner floats. Corey Williams dishes off Blanton. Williams very explosive defensively. He just lost the handle on that. 9:42 left. Bulls still lead it by 18.
Great defense. He ran that one down for a deflection.
Inside, Ogg, the turnaround, and it rolls around and down. He is a crowd favorite. They call it here the land of Ogg.
He's a crowd favorite, but he's in a battle for a job.
Oh, he's got his hands full. McRae sneaks underneath. Rodney, who averaged 9 points a game last year for Richie Adubato and company in Dallas.
I see Geiger's got a mismatch there. Rodney McRae, very, very quick. And, you know, he's just leaving him as he's changing in.
Kevin Lockery yelling to his team to hold the ball. Now we've got a timeout with the score. The Bulls 43, the Miami Heat 25. TNT would like to recognize the sponsors of tonight's game and thank them for their support in the hurricane relief effort. One of our sponsors for tonight's game is your friends at Anheuser-Busch, who donated nearly 3 million cans of water to areas stricken by Hurricane Andrew, and whose Busch Gardens in Tampa helped rescue animals stranded at the Miami Metro Zoo. We do thank you, all of our sponsors, for tonight's ball game. Now let's go to the telethon room, as we'll call it, with our Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Ron, tropical storms have always loomed ominously in the South Florida area, but there's no way to prepare for the devastation of one the likes of Hurricane Andrew. $20 billion in property damage, 160,000 have been left homeless. As part of tonight's game, the Miami Heat is holding a telethon. As you can tell, the phones are now ringing. The telephone number is 800-551-1010. And answering the phones right in front of me, pitcher Dennis Martinez, basketball coach Leonard Hamilton for the Miami Heat. And first of all, I guess you were able to, unfortunately, as the phones ring, experience this hurricane firsthand.
Well, definitely, there's something that it was really devastated. I think I hit Rio, the south part of Miami, and this is something that we're doing for the building out the community, and hopefully we get some people. Hello, thank you for calling the Rebuild organization. May I help you?
Well, that telephone number will be in operation 24 hours a day. If you don't get through right now, please keep calling. It's 800-551-1010. We will rebuild, but we do need your help. Ron?
All right, Dennis Martinez of the Montreal Expos. I tell you, he's not a bad pitcher.
No.
He can play. And Leonard Hamilton, former coach at Oklahoma State, now here at Miami.
Louis Chaffel made a great statement today as the president of the ball club. It was easy to get this game on. He said the NBA, TNT jumped right in, Chicago Bulls, and naturally our ball club. But how about the school systems? 300 free buses today to bring 14,000 to the clinic in the morning, and also free buses this evening. All of the jobs, from the security guys to the cops to the confectionery to the usher, everybody free. No tickets free tonight. Everyone has paid to get in here, and it's just terrific because both ball clubs, all the players have made contributions to this fund.
The majority of the players have donated $1,000. Here we see Harold Miner. The number's on him. not a bad little player while at USC. The second player in Pac-10 history to score 2,000 points in just 3 years. And the other one's some guy named Lou Alcindor.
Now here's a half-court trap. First time we've seen it. Call it a 3-2 half-court trap. The only trouble is you've got to get to the mat.
Minor goes high for the rebound. 16-point advantage held by Chicago here in the second quarter. Geiger over McCray, way short. Tries it again.
One of the very few second shots that we have seen for Miami.
Armstrong to Blanton. He hands right back off to Armstrong. McCray faces up Geiger. Has the speed to take him to the hole, and he does just that. The left hand goes down.
Beautiful shot. They like what Rodney McCray is giving them. He's been a solid player at Sacramento and in Dallas. He can play a number of positions. But what they said is he's very smooth, very heady player, excellent defensively, and get the job done on offense if he's left alone.
Willie Burton tries to take it strong to the hole, but Ricky Blanton was in his way.
Well, it's nice to see Burton back. We're talking about a high draft pick. Coming out of college, they feel now that he's in the best physical shape ever in training camp. They like the way he's running. He's playing better defense, more aggressive. They feel that he's over his medical problems. So they're looking for him to explode where he can shoot consistently up over that 45% mark, because in the early parts of his career, he's really struggled. Very sporadic shooter.
Willie Burton said that he was treated, of course, for depression at the end of the year, was hospitalized. He said he lost his smile, but now he's found it, and he just can't wait to get back playing. Traveling on B.J. Armstrong.
Well, anytime you go to a half-court trap, Ron, what you're hoping for is that the opposition will shoot a jump shot, or naturally the ultimate is if you can get the turnover.
Only the third turnover for Chicago tonight. Williams on Coles.
Nice move. Nice move.
Well, the rookie's not going to get that call. Corey Williams out of Oklahoma State picks up his first personal foul.
Bimbo Coles, in the last quarter of the season, really turned it on and had an excellent campaign, and then played well in the playoffs last year for Miami. This year in training camp, he's really showing a lot. He's becoming more selective on his shot attempts when he's driving to the basket, and he's also completing the play now. By that we mean making the good pass in traffic.
Kevin Lockery with Bob Stack and his assistants. Alvin Gentry on the left.
Oh, Kevin says, we've got to cut down here. We got too many guys around here.
I'll tell you, both of them. I mean, you know,
sure. Our
score sheets, Marty Aronoff and I are doubling up on pages tonight. But it's interesting because Kevin Lockery says, I've got to make a cut because I need to start defining roles with this young team.
Right. See, they got the miss, but once again, Will Perdue down inside.
Burton had it. Ogg had a chance to get it. Williams on Coles. 13-point Chicago lead. Williams penetrates, whistled for the foul. That'll be his second.
Williams very quick. Very quick. Drafted in 3 sports. Not very many guys coming out of college get drafted in 3 sports: football, basketball, and baseball. But they say the only negative on him is he plays at that same speed. Up, boom, beep, beep, and I'm going.
Corey Williams drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs in the 12th round, and he hasn't played football since junior high, which tells you a little bit about his athletic ability.
Number 52, Matt Geiger.
Mike Geiger picks up the offensive foul. That is his first.
The second unit working very hard for Miami.
McCray, the handoff to BJ. No place to go. Gives it back to McCray. It won't go down.
So right now, Miami has some quickness out here. If they could just get the ball out.
A lot of fouls being called as Minor tries to take it on Williams. Williams whistled for the foul. That is his third. We've got a timeout. 6:51 remaining in the first half. The Bulls by 13. We'll be back. some of the youngsters that are living in tents, enjoying tonight's game. And there's our number again, 1-800-551-1010. And we understand that when we put the number up, the phones go off the hook. Hey, let's keep Dennis Martinez, Leonard Hamilton, and all the people you see right there busy. Please call. They need money. They need donations here in South Florida. And we'd like to remind you, Craig Sager coming up at halftime. A lot coming up. We'll be showing you the clinic that went on this afternoon, plus CNN's John Zarella was down at Homestead, and he'll take a look at that and the rebirth of Homestead, all coming up at halftime, plus a preview of the Hall of Fame game here on TNT and opening night, which sends Hubie and I to Yokohama, Japan. As we mentioned, Alcindor, the only other player to get 2,000 plus in 3 years. Minor gets 1 of 2. He has 5 for the evening, and the lead is down to 12. The biggest lead was 20 at 41-21. Ricky Blanton trying to find a spot on his roster.
Well, anytime that you run that type of a trap where it's so high run at half court, you always get that corner jump shot. And if you have a good shooter down in there, you can hurt the defensive team.
Blanton comes out to meet Burton. Shot clock inside of 10. And this time Ricky gets the left shoulder on Burton, and that'll be Blanton's first.
Bulls foul number 25, Ricky Blanton.
Excellent first step that time. He's been looking to take his man off the dribble from the wings. You're going to see it right now. It's a nice fake, good first step, excellent move to the basket.
Burton gets the first. 3 of 3, all his points coming tonight from the line. Burton, third-year pro out of Minnesota. When he left college, he was the second all-time scorer in Minnesota history, trailing only Michael Thompson. Blanton redeems himself.
Well, it's exactly a replay of what we've seen earlier in the quarter. Geiger and Ogg are too slow getting back down the floor after a score at the other end of the floor.
Minor from 21. Let's look at his range. It's a little bit short. Bimbo Coles picks the pocket, just has to toss it down court. As in now for Chicago Bulls, wearing number 15, JoJo English, the rookie out of South Carolina at 6'4", 195 pounds. And this is another player that Phil Jackson said, he said, if I'd have to pick one surprise of the camp, it may be the play of JoJo English. He's looked great at times, other times average.
Oh, send it home, Willie. Will Perdue, big fella.
4 points, 6 rebounds for Will Perdue. Nearing 5 minutes of the second. Still a 16-point advantage. Geiger not taking advantage of his size. Way out front. Ogg not very much offensively. Here comes McCray to Armstrong. English has it stripped. A little asphalt kind of game right now. Somebody's got to take a shot. Willie Burton does off the back of the iron. BJ strong inside, whistle and a foul.
For Miami, it's just very ragged at the offensive end of the floor. Watch Will Perdue hustling here now. You're going to see him. He sends it home. See, anytime a big guy gets the ball in the right place around the basket, he's got to go strong. He's got to send it home with a strong dunk, because even if he misses, he'll normally get fouled. At least he gets to the foul line. He's got a chance for a three-point play. Now, at the other end of the floor, Ogg and Geiger, you can see right now, are no threat in the low hole. Consequently, the 3 Miami perimeter players are taking it upon themselves to force up shots at every time. And what's happening is the ball's rebounding long, and once again, Chicago in the open floor.
Geiger picks up his third, but Alan Ogg instead sits down, and Keith Askins comes into the lineup. Wearing number 2, the third-year pro out of Alabama, came here as a free agent.
Well, they like him. He plays 3 positions for them, and he does a real solid job.
The press by Chicago. Burton gets it across, but not till there's 15 on the shot clock. Askins has it swatted away by Rodney McCray. 23-35 from the outside. It is JoJo English off the front of the iron. Still a little bug loose on the rug, and Miner comes up with it. You talk about Askins being able to play different positions. This team, Miami, really stresses versatility. A lot of players can play a couple positions. Geiger inside.
See, Geiger keeps posting Rodney McRae up one step away. That rim is tilted right now. All right, good. They see it. Yeah, they're going to go down and fix the rim right now. See, he keeps posting Rodney McRae one step away from the rim, and no one throws him the ball. If they'll just throw him the ball, he'll do like he just finished first there, drop step, and stuff Rodney McRae through the basket, because there is too much of a difference in the size. But if Rodney McRae will push him out of the lane, Geiger or Ogg, they just don't have a game with their back to the basket.
Purdue with his back to the basket.
Well, they have great spacing. See, they stay within their offense, and even though they got a lot of young kids in there and that, they usually will run and get something good out of their sets.
Well, 4 seconds on the shot clock as Keith Tower checks into the lineup. Purdue sits down, and Anderson Hunt, wearing number 8, he checks into the lineup, and B.J. Armstrong sits down. You look at Anderson Hunt, he's the young man that played for UNLV as JoJo English has it slotted away. Shot clock will go off. But Anderson came out a year early from college. Everybody felt that was a major mistake. He went to free agent camp last year, got cut, ended up playing in Europe, and he's back.
Well, you know, in 1990, when Vegas won the championship, he was the MVP of the NCAA tournament and averaged 24 points a game. But I think the majority of people felt that he should have stayed in school, Ron. Whether he would have gotten stronger, we know he probably wasn't going to grow any, but he'd get stronger, get more experience.
He says he really grew last year, not being drafted, which was a major disappointment, and then being cut. Well, Bimbo Coles just got up in no man's land. It's English and Hunt. JoJo will take it all the way, has it swatted away by Coles. We've got a whistle and a foul.
See, the staff over there at Chicago were not very happy with that. They just had a 2-on-1. JoJo English a little frustrated, see, because he shot short a couple times, did not make the pass. He had a 2-on-1. That ball should have gone across at the top of the circle of B.J. Armstrong and make the defensive player work.
Well, he gets credit for the basket on a goaltending call, but nevertheless, he did not make that pass. 18-point lead, nearing 3 minutes of the second quarter. Along with Craig Sager and Hubie Brown, I'm Ron Thulin from the Miami Arena. Glad you can join us tonight. Harold Miner's shot won't go. Keith Askins does.
JoJo English did a nice job on Miner that time. He got a piece of that shot. You're right, Ron. They're all high on English. Everyone, the players, the coaches, no matter who you talk to from Chicago, they really think he's got a lot of talent.
Ricky Blanton right now with 6 points this evening, rattles one home. Blanton, who's playing his second year out of LSU.
See, if you're a guard trying to make the Chicago Bull team, there's a lot of competition here. They have about 8 guards, and they're all very nice players, but you better show them that you can defend.
Miner the nice pass. Keith Askins the recipient. Look out. Blanton takes it in strong, and it goes. Ricky Blanton now with 8.
Once again, Miami scores. Quick inbound pass to the guard. Long pass to the forward, up the side. And what happens? Miami not back defensively again. Now here you have a nice move by Askins. Now just watch how quickly they get it in. Right to the guard, up the floor. Here's Blanton, up ahead. They gamble, no cigar. Strong move to the basket.
2:14 left in the half. The Bulls by 18. Once again, the NBA, the Chicago Bulls, the Miami Heat, and TNT are very proud to be part of the We Will Rebuild Incorporated campaign going on here right now in South Florida. That's the number again, 1-800-551-1010. A lot of the volunteers are sitting around, folks. Look at Leonard Hamilton down there on your left-hand side of the screen. He's anxious to get his team going at the University of Miami. He's bored right now talking to Dennis Martinez, so let's get those phones ringing. There we go. We like hearing that. For those of you who are wondering how the debate's going, it's 1-0 at the end of 5. Blanton now with 9 points. told my wife, no political jokes, Hubie, just to get it off. No political jokes tonight. Out front is Coles. Hunt comes out to meet him. 2 minutes left in the half. We've got a 3-second call. That'll be on Harold Miner.
Now that is a call rarely seen in the NBA.
I've never. Right. We're looking at each other like,
I saw it 3 times last year in 100 games. That was too many.
I don't think I saw it last year, to be honest with you. JoJo Inglis is short. Keith Tower out of Notre Dame comes up with a rebound. Get it inside to Tower. Geiger on him. Tower faces up, lets it go. Nothing but glass. Miner had everybody beaten. Coles finally gets him the basketball, and he hangs and doesn't get it.
Now that we're going to see a lot. He has incredible hang time. Now the problem is when you move to the backcourt where you play 100% at guard in the NBA, when you have jumping ability like that, and you always are in the lane. Unfortunate for you, it becomes also a disadvantage because you must get back defensively. A lot of people will say, well, he can just crash the offensive board. Well, in this league, the defensive front lines are so big, and we've been seeing it here. You usually only get 1 shot. They catch you down inside, and now it's 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2 break. He's really going to have to work at that part of his game. But Kevin Lockery said the biggest surprise about his game, he's an excellent defender. Really works at it.
Tower to McRae from 17, and Rodney McRae lighting it up for 6 points this evening.
They've been running that screen, Ron. I'm telling you, they're running over and over. They throw into the pivot. The guy who threw it in goes right through the lane, cuts down in, and then screens for the forward on the opposite box. He's been wide open at the foul line all this first half.
He's taking advantage of it. He's 3 of 5. Askins for 2. Blanton takes it away from Geiger. The outlet pass to English. And JoJo English throws it away. That is Chicago's 13th turnover.
Well, see, he's struggling a little bit. He's got good size. He was a leading scorer at South Carolina backcourt. Good call. Very good call.
Backcourt violation.
Good call by Darrell Garrison.
See, JoJo English is pressing right now. They have such competition here at Chicago. When you think you got Jordan, Paxson, and Armstrong, they're guaranteed. Then you got Trent Tucker, you got JoJo English, all right, you've got Corey Williams, and then you have a couple of other guys, Gerald Matkins, you have Anderson Hunt. I mean, you've got a ton of kids here who can really play.
10 Bulls have scored. And talking to Phil Jackson before the game, interesting, he said, you know, we can go different directions. Do we want a player like Corey Williams, who's going to be the big defensive player? Do we want to keep Trent Tucker, who we know what he can do? And he's got a lot of decisions to make, and he says we have to sit down and review it and figure out what we want to do, because they're looking 2-3 years down the road also.
Well, in subtraction from the Bulls, they lose Cliff Livingston, they replace him with Rodney McRae. Well, one's a Bull type of a player, Livingston. Rodney McRae, more finesse and more to his offensive game. But when you eliminate Craig Hodges, you're eliminating a big part of the big game, pressure shooter and also playoff 3-point shooter. Now Tucker can give that to you, and he also can give you better defense also because he's taller. He's 6'5", and he can get in there, and he's played it. So it's going to be an interesting call for them.
21-point advantage now for Chicago. Bimbo Coles loses the handle, gets it back, and then draws the foul. Don't forget Craig Sager coming up at halftime. We'll take a look at what happened this afternoon at Miami Arena when over 14,000 young people from the Homestead and surrounding area were bussed here to Miami Arena for a clinic with both the Bulls and the Heat, along with Bob Lanier. And we'll also bring you the report of how they are rebuilding down at Homestead, all coming up at halftime with Craig Sager, and that will happen in a commercial in 19.5 seconds from now.
Well, we were here, Ron, and it was terrific. When you think 14,000 young people all affected by this storm, here they get a chance to come into the building. They bus them in. Everyone is in place.
And when you think about it, they had never seen this arena, the inside of this arena. And this was their chance to see all of the stars and the ovations for just dunks. And it was just terrific. The excitement and the players, the response that they gave, and the talks by the different people, and especially Michael Jordan. Beautiful.
Inside of the final 10 seconds, Michael Jordan touched the ball and the crowd went nuts. Bowles for three at the buzzer. It won't go. Geiger had a hand on it. Couldn't get it to go. But we have played one half at the Miami Arena as part of the We Will Rebuild campaign. And it's all the world champion Bulls. They lead it by 20. We'll be back to Miami with more right after this.
It's halftime at the Miami Arena. The Chicago Bulls up by 20. As part of tonight's game, the Miami Heat is holding a telethon. The number to call is 800-551-1010. All donations go to the We Will Rebuild campaign. There's no way to prepare for the devastation caused by Hurricane Andrew. $20 billion in property damage, 160,000 left homeless. One of those who has been involved from the start, one of the originators along with Michael Jordan, is Billy Cunningham. And Billy, first of all, your response to the reaction from the people, the way people have come to help you in the We Will Rebuild campaign.
Just fantastic, including you and Craig and everyone from TNT, the Chicago Bulls, the whole community, and the country responding to the telethon. It's just so rewarding and fulfilling. And the great thing is we know we're going to be helping some people that are in dire need.
Pictures don't tell the words. Nothing can exemplify the devastation, the people you've talked to, the time you spent with some of these people.
Yeah, and even people that have gotten through it and their homes are back in order, the psychological and the emotional damage that they've gone through, I guess it was compared to a night of war, you know, that they went through. And people in our office lost their homes. Some had to end up sleeping with their families in a closet for the night. So I guess it's one of those things that, you know, just listening to the story, I'm glad I wasn't part of it.
So many people are helping. You have dedicated your efforts to the children.
Right, and everyone, the people behind us right here have dedicated their efforts, and everyone in South Florida has dedicated and made a great commitment to rebuild and make it even better.
We will rebuild, but we need your help. We'd like you to take a look at the sponsors who are making this evening possible. And remember, the phone lines are open, 800-551-1010. Welcome back to the Miami Arena, where the Chicago Bulls lead Miami by 20. I'm over in the telethon room where Harry Galbraith of the undefeated Miami Dolphins has replaced Dennis Martinez on the phone lines. First of all, we need to have those phone lines ringing. Your team devastated so much by this event. One game canceled. What effect has it had on you?
I think it helped us out a whole lot because beginning of the season we had a couple guys that wasn't really healthy, like Furl Evans. He had his knee scoped and gave him a chance to come back and play against Cleveland. And really, beginning of the season helped the whole team out.
The transition period has begun. The scars are still there, but there are signs of a rebirth, and we sent CNN's bureau chief from Miami, John Zarella, to Homestead.
3-month-old Sasheen Rubio has spent most of her life living in a tent. She has welts on her hands and body from the red ant bites. Since the night Hurricane Andrew destroyed her family's home, Sasheen has clung more closely than ever to her mother.
Well, it fell on her twice, the ceiling, so now she's just very nervous. And she was nursing back then, she was nursing every 2 hours, and now she nurses every half hour to an hour.
All the people still living in tent cities in Homestead, and there are more than 1,000 people, pass their time waiting for federally provided trailers to be ready. The autumn breeze races through the rubble of a shopping plaza, an unpleasant reminder of Andrew's howling wind. The hurricane changed everything here and everybody, especially the children.
It'll make me appreciate things a lot more, like everyday things I used to take for granted.
I'm different in some kind of way. I ain't like I used to be, you know. I used to be all bad and stuff, now I'm shaped up.
And Homestead is shaping up too. There are sounds of rebirth. Children play basketball on a makeshift court. Gas stations are opening. Homes and businesses are being rebuilt.
I think it's the will of the people to make it. If there's one thing that you have to say, it's just the will of the people.
Miami's Metro Zoo is coming back too, slowly. Damage here, $20 million. Even the tallest giraffe can barely reach what's left of the leaves on the trees.
Some greens here for you. I know you missed them for a while. Get that. I'm kind of ashamed to say it takes a catastrophe of this magnitude to bring out the best in all of us, but it surely has. And I know that this zoo will be better than it ever was because of the human spirit that's behind it now.
What the people of South Dade County fear the most is that in the months to come, others will forget. Forget that in a single night, 250,000 people lost nearly everything. If history books recall the storm of 1992, it will probably be written that Hurricane Andrew broke the wood, crumbled the concrete, and twisted the metal. But it couldn't break the spirit of the people. John Zarella for TNT in Homestead, Florida.
$20 billion in property damage caused by Hurricane Andrew, 160,000 people left homeless, many people needing attention, particularly children. We'll have more on that story as we continue the We Will Rebuild game from Miami, Florida. There are thousands of children having nightmares in the aftermath of Hurricane Andrew. They can't concentrate on school if they are afraid. One youngster, 6 years old, held a piece of battered metal in his hand. It was a door knocker. It was all that he had left of his house. The havoc raged by Hurricane Andrew has left thousands of children in a world of instability.
My house is gone. The roof's caved in on the inside, and now we're living in Miami Beach.
We stayed in the garage and the roof came off. Were you scared?
Yeah.
You build more than houses. You rebuild people's lives. Special commemorative T-shirts, trading cards, and other awards were presented to the more than 14,000 participating youngsters. Clinics are where problems are solved, and the Chicago Bulls and the Miami Heat combined in a caring, heartfelt gesture with a pulse for those in need.
It's the most gratifying thing that we could have ever done in this community, because you see their faces. Look at the faces of these children.
Beyond the most generous and impressive contributions from the NBA are the gestures and contributions from all walks of our society. Exemplified by Eastside Elementary in Marietta, Georgia, which adopted the Naranja Elementary School for a project that has provided school supplies and T-shirts, one of which received special attention from Miami Center Ronnie Cycli.
Why don't you wear a Miami Heat T-shirt?
I couldn't get one.
Well, we gotta get you one. You can't wear a Chicago Bulls T-shirt.
Give me one.
Huh?
Give me one.
We'll get you one.
Fortunately, tragedies of catastrophic national disaster proportions do not remain isolated from our nation's society and bring about a rallying of support that leaves little doubt that most of us still wear our hearts where they are intended. NBA teams interacting with youngsters and teens, teaching basketball and providing emotional support. We'll be back in a moment. The annual Hall of Fame game in Springfield, Massachusetts this year features the Charlotte Hornets, who hope their unsigned #1 draft pick Alonzo Mourning of Georgetown will join the fold. Mourning would team up with last year's Rookie of the Year Larry Johnson as this young team continues to climb. Opposing the Hornets in Springfield will be the defending Western Conference champion Portland Trail Blazers. The Hall of Fame game Tuesday, November 3rd at 8 p.m. right here on TNT. Then, November 6th, it's opening night in the NBA, and TNT will begin the coverage at 7:30. Game 1 of a doubleheader features a rematch of the Eastern Conference Championship Series. The world champion Chicago Bulls with their dream team head to Richfield, Ohio, where Mark Price, Brad Daugherty, and the Cavaliers look for revenge. Game 2 comes from Japan, where Sean Kemp powers the Seattle Supersonics against Hakeem Olajuwon, Otis Thorpe, and the Rockets from Houston. Opening night, NBA on TNT begins at 7:30 p.m. The Bulls and Cavs in Game 1 at 8, followed by the Sonics and Rockets from Japan, and finally, inside the NBA.
We are back. Second half just getting underway as the Bulls lead it by 20, and there is Harold Miner, Baby Jordan, 7 points. And that was good enough to be second highest on the Miami Heat. Or I take it back, leading the Miami Heat in points. Glen Rice was 6. Bryant Shaw was 6. And we've got our first foul. The Chicago Bulls, they're starting the same starting 5 from the opening tip. And for the Miami Heat, they're also going with Glen Rice, John Sally, Ronnie Cycli. Willie Burton gets the starting nod here in the second half, and also getting his first look tonight, John Morton, wearing number 23. The fourth-year pro out of Seton Hall, was a first-round pick, as you mentioned, early on of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Everybody down on the floor, and John Sally will track it down.
Well, in the first half, Miami really struggled, Ron. Shot 32%. They were 1 for 8 in three-point shots, getting killed on the boards by 10 rebounds.
This time, Rice decides to forego the outside shot, take it inside. Rice now with 8. Jordan, the pull-up, in and out, doesn't get it. This time, all white shirts around the basket.
Well, let's see what happens with this first unit. Miami has 0 points on the fast break. 0.
Well, that looked a lot better, Hubie. There was some ball movement, a little better spacing.
Well, they're playing Rice now at second guard. Burton is up front at the small forward position. Let's see if they can combat these guys defensively in the transition game.
Jordan with about a 10-footer, and Michael Jordan now with 13 for the ball game. Where do you like Glen Rice? You like him at the shooting guard at the 2 or the small forward at 3?
Well, first of all, he has an advantage over a lot of second guards because he's taller at that position. Now, you can see that time he was down inside. That time Burton got up ahead. Morton is pushing the ball extremely quick in the second half. He's getting the ball up the floor, and they're making things happen. I like Rice up front myself. I don't care how many of these he makes because they need the rebounding. This is a team that is such a poor rebounding team. Unless Burton comes to war now and does a better job than he has in his previous 2 years at that forward position on the boards for you.
Rice was only 2 of 8 in that first half. 3 of 3 this quarter.
Chicago doing what Chicago does best. Shooting 53%, dominating the boards, 10 offensive rebounds. Will Purdue with 5 offensive rebounds in that second quarter. And then defensive transition, always the key. 0 points for Miami.
Pippen inside to Grant, has it swatted away by Willie Burton, and we've got a whistle by Sean Corbin and a foul. Sean Corbin, the rookie official tonight.
Beautiful pass that time by Pippen. See, that's the thing which you've just seen over the last couple of years. Anytime that a Chicago player will break the foul line area into the paint, they will always make the extra pass as the defense rotates towards them. They all have become unselfish. They realize that during the course of the game, someone will get the ball to them, and it comes from the coaching staff. The coaching staff forcing them to make the extra pass, making them to be aware of total team play.
Grant now with 9 points for the ball game. Paxson will put on a little bit of pressure as we near the 10-minute mark of the third. Bulls still by 17. Burton gets a step, goes baseline, tries to go through the basket. Daryl Garrison calls the foul.
Well, they're happy with him, like I told you. They like the fact that he's stronger. He's added 10 pounds. He's worked on the weights, and you see that first step? Now, he's displayed that all night. In the first half, he was 4 for 4 on the foul line. Now, in the second half, he got through, made the 1 layup, and now here he is on the line again shooting 2. Kevin Lockery very, very pleased with his game.
It's a young man that just needs to forget about last year. Burton now 5 of 6 from the line. All his points coming from the stripe, and we played 2 minutes of the third quarter. Heat still down by 16. Sally on Grant inside. Stacey King doesn't get it. Follows his own shot. Muscles his way up. Cycli rejects it. That is his 3rd block of the evening. Morton tries to push it.
He's doing a nice job.
Almost a case of John Sally was a little bit in too far almost and forced him.
Well, that's what we said. The spacing here tonight has been terrible for Miami, Ron. They're not taking advantage of the full court. But how about that first half? Sally, Cycli, Rice, 3 for 15.
Cycli didn't score. That's Sally's second field goal of the ball game. He has 5 now for the contest. Jordan from 18 goes about 16.
Good defense that time by Rice. Got a piece of that shot on Jordan. This is what I like what Morton is doing. Morton is advancing the ball.
That's the Glen Rice that averaged 22.3 last year for the Heat. On top, Pippen. The lead is 12. Whistle, foul, Cycli got a piece of it.
Chicago doing a real nice job this evening by just taking Miami off the dribble anytime that there is a clear out. They're not settling for the jump shot. They know they can get the jump shot at any time. They're putting the ball down on the floor, really attacking the rim, and they're getting fouled or they score.
Pippen 76% last year from the line. He's 0 for 1 this evening. 5 points for the ball game to go along with the 4 assists. All-NBA second team, first team defensively. Scottie was the only Bull to start all 82 games last year. Only he and B.J. Armstrong played in all 82. Lead is 13. Morton sees the opening, dishes off. Nice dish to Cycli, who can't convert, and there's no white shirts around it.
Oh, that was a bad mistake by Cycli.
Hello!
Oh,
yes! Not a jam, but what a job just to get to that basketball. Rice for 3, doesn't get it. And then Miami makes a mistake on the defensive end. Let's take a look at Michael Jordan again. Watch how he has to come and get this basketball.
Just watch the pass. A beautiful flip is right there. Nice. Michael, one-handed grab. They look for one another, and they do such an excellent job of giving the guy the pass in the perfect position.
The foul, by the way, was on Burton, his second. Paxson from just inside the three-point line, and Johnny P knocks it down for his 4th point. The guy that every year they say they're going to replace him just keeps stepping up and hitting the jumpers.
Yeah, right.
One of the nicest guys in the NBA. Sally working inside. Grant gets a piece of him. And we'd like to welcome all of you who are watching the debate. We are in Miami Arena, where the Miami Heat and the Chicago Bulls are playing a very special exhibition basketball game. It is part of the We Will Rebuild campaign. We will be giving you a 1-800 number that you can call and help donate money. Our emphasis tonight is helping those that are still in desperate need. The storm is not over in South Florida. A lot of kids need a lot of help still down here. 1-800-551-1010 is our number. Please call. Our total continues to rise, but we need a lot more. Our score, by the way, 72 for the Bulls, 55 for Miami as Michael Jordan checks out and Rodney McCray, number 22, checks into the lineup, the 11th year pro out of Louisville. First round pick back in 1983, the 3rd pick overall by the Houston Rockets. Sally can't find either one. 1 for 4 now from the line. Bulls' biggest lead, by the way, was 21 in the ball game. It was 20 at intermission. Horace Grant uses the body well. Grant now with 11. Our total, by the way, $57,000. Please call. Let's try to hit that century mark today, the $100,000. Paxson, the pull-up J, nothing but net.
Good timeout right here. Kevin Lockery wants to regroup. They're getting some bad shot attempts, percentage-wise, at the basket, opening up the open floor. Scottie Pippen doing what he does best, and that is push the basketball and find the free people.
Well, Miami cut it to 12, but it is back to 21. The Bulls on a 9-0 run. They lead it by 21 as we look at some more of the youngsters that are here tonight, still left homeless because of Hurricane Andrew, along with Hubie Brown. I'm Ron Thulin. And Hubie, we've seen Miami make a run here, but then they watch Chicago jump right back into it.
Well, it's like we say, shot selection. Young ball clubs always have that tendency to play a little while in little peaks or valley types. And you can't do that with Chicago because Chicago just buries you every time that happens.
Glen Rice with a 2.
Now we have both coaches, you know, they're only in the 3rd week of the exhibition season, and what they're trying to do is try out different combinations of guys, work on minutes, because after you play 4 playoff games, what you want to do is cut your ball club down to about 14 or 15 guys, and then in the remaining 4 exhibition games, get a good look at the final 2 or 3 cuts so that you make sure that you give every player a solid opportunity of making the ball club. Then you're ready to go.
Both teams right now upwards of 17 and 18 players. Scottie Pippen had 5 in the first half. He's got 2 here in the second as we look at Kevin Lockery and Matt Geiger. The second-round pick out of Georgia Tech comes in. Ronnie Cycli sits down. Now, prior to the start of the second half, Cycli came over and was telling us that his right hip hurts, and that is why he is heading to the locker room. He says he's really tightening up.
Yeah. That's a shame because they really need him. He's the only true low post player that they have here. And when he's on his game, like in that first half, he missed 3 easy baby hooks right in the lane. And that's really out of the ordinary for him. He's usually a very, very tough scorer down in there.
Geiger's got his hands full. Sally breaking into the lane has the whistle and the foul.
Let's just talk about the Heat a second. Players who are injured and not playing tonight. Carlos Funches, Alec Kessler with a groin, George Ackles, and then also Steve Smith, who had surgery, arthroscopic surgery yesterday on his knee. Will start rehabilitation tomorrow and hopefully will be back within 4 to 6 weeks. And then also Grant Long, who has not signed, their 2nd leading rebounder and 3rd leading scorer from last year at the big forward position.
Great pass, Paxson to Pippen,
yes,
sweeping all the way in.
I'll tell you, Scottie looks great tonight.
Very lively for an
boy.
exhibition game, and only, as you mentioned, early into the season. He has 9 points to go along with 6 assists.
He's really moving the ball well, Ronnie, making terrific decisions with the basketball. Plus, Phil has left him in there with that 2nd unit for long periods.
Oh, Horace, you took a couple too many steps, big guy. We'll go the other way with it as Phil Jackson looks on. Here's Scottie.
See, now they're playing Scottie at the guard position, see? Now he's playing 2nd guard. He and Paxson in the backcourt. Then they have Rodney McRae, King, and Grant up front. Now we're going to see a lot of this year of McRae, Michael Jordan, and Scottie Pippen in the ballgame at the same time.
Talk about the young players in Miami. This is a team that's never gotten away from their original design of building through the draft. Shot rejected. There's Rice inside, doesn't get it. We've got McRae, Paxson, and Pippen. Oh, what a block. No, they call a foul. John Morton. What a hustle job by number 23 all the way down.
Well, see, that's that no respect factor we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
At the one end, we had a foul. All right, no call, but that's because they're a great defensive team. Nice pass here. And that right there as a player should have shot the ball with his left hand. But Rodney McRae has done a nice job. 6 points tonight, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, and a block.
And B.J. Armstrong comes in. John Paxson will sit down, and that is probably the last we will see of Paxi tonight. But he got the work in. He really wanted exactly what he told us before the game.
Well, they went in on his knee, cleaned up his knee, and they're just force feeding him, just nice and easy. Give him 7-8 minutes in this half to go with the 10 that he played in the first half. That's enough. Bill Cartwright, if you just tuned in, could have played tonight, but they're going to hold him out until the end of the week before he plays, coming off of left surgery, cleaning out some chips in his left knee.
Also, Scott Williams, little tendonitis tonight. He will not be playing for Chicago. Once again, don't forget the phone number, 1-800-551-1010. Morton tries to hustle it. Last touch by Miami.
Hey, Morton has given us right here 7 minutes of good basketball. He's doing a nice job defensively. He's moving the basketball offensively. He's making things happen for his ball club.
Grant from the outside hits the bottom of the net. Horace Grant now with 13. 5 for 6 from the floor. Of course, last year Horace finished 3rd in the NBA in field goal percentage. Sally, the baby hook, doesn't get it. He's missed about 3 of those tonight. And then Scottie Pippen just beats Glen Rice.
See, they don't get back. See, that's the disadvantage of playing big guards, okay? When you play a big guard at that second guard position who's really a forward, they have a tendency not to get back, not just during the exhibitions, but all the time.
And that was the problem last year. I mean, we mentioned they gave up over 109 points a contest. King on Geiger. Takes him to the hole, and he draws the foul. No, offensive foul on Stacey King, his second.
You know, speaking with Jerry Krause today, we're going to give you this play. A good look right here by Horace Grant. See, he waited until Scottie Pippen, coming to the left of your screen, freed himself. Now, if he would have forced the ball, it might not have gotten through. He waited for Pippen to outrun the defender. Interesting stat, talking to Jerry Krause, the general manager of the Chicago Bulls. Without Bill Cartwright last year, with either King or Williams at the center position or Purdue, 18 wins, 2 losses.
Inside the basket goes for Willie Burton. His first field goal, and he also draws the whistle.
Willie Burton is definitely backing up the accolades by Kevin Lockery today of his play. They are very happy with his work that he put in this summer in the strength and conditioning part. He's gained 10 pounds. And also the fact that he's a tougher defender right now. He's taking his job more serious, and he's really going after it. He looks terrific tonight.
They like this competitive camp. Louis Chaffel and everybody told us today, they said, you know what's really funny about this camp? Last year we cut guys and they went on to become bankers. This year we'll cut guys and they'll play in the NBA. And that's something they've never been able to do. Pippen from the outside. Nothing but net for Scottie Pippen. 8 points in the second half for Pippen, 5 of 7 shooting for the ball game. The lead is back to 24. Burton. Sally. Spider, no place to go. Inside to Geiger, in and out, and back in.
Well, in that first half, when they got the ball to Geiger down in low, he could do something with it. But as long as he's in the painted area, he's got to prove that he can score outside of the lane.
They like his aggressiveness.
Yep, very, very happy.
But they need more than that.
Big surprise in the camp. Say he can run as well as any player on the ball club, end to end.
He took off on that one. Rice. BJ tries to get in front of him, and Armstrong will be whistled for the foul. That will be Armstrong's second personal foul. And we have a timeout. 2:58 remaining to be played in the third quarter, and the Bulls lead it 87-65. We'll be back to Miami in a moment.
The Miami Heat band.
We are back at the Miami Arena, and for those of you just joining us, our phones are quiet. 1-800-551-1010. If you'd like to donate money or anything else, I am sure they'll take it. Please call right now. And you know, we saw Eastside Elementary in Marietta, Georgia, who adopted an elementary school in Homestead. How about other organizations, churches, schools, Cub Scouts, Brownie troops? Get a hold of somebody down here. Let's see what we can get going. And if everybody contributes, folks, the damage is still unbelievable down there. Please try to help out. We're over $62,000.
Well, it's interesting how many schools across the United States have adopted schools here. And just like the Heat said, the main goal here is to raise money because we do not want to forget about the kids.
That's right.
The school systems are devastated right now. The psychological damage to the children is just amazing. And the cry of almost every human being that you talk to here, whether it's in the Heat, whether it's newspaper guys, or even the players, they'll all tell you the same thing. Please don't forget the kids during December, January, and February. Don't put them, you know, in the back burner. Please keep
understanding that they are far from recovery here.
20-point lead by the Chicago Bulls. I think the story that touched me was the fact this one little girl told me that she lost all her Barbie dolls. And with a 7- and 4-year-old daughters, I can imagine what that's like. 5 seconds on the shot clock. King backs in on Geiger, the left hand. This time Matt does a pretty good job defensively. Morton tries to force the pass to Geiger. Oh, we've got a whistle and a foul. It was almost showtime with Scottie Pippen again.
You're going to see now, this is one of the few mistakes that Morton has made. See, he left his feet. You tell your guards, do not leave your feet unless you're going to shoot the basketball. That time he tried to force a pass through. And that's really the first bad move that he's had with the basketball. But then he was smart enough to foul in the backcourt, so they did not get the uncontested shot for the layup.
Pick your brain now. B.J. Armstrong at the line. We all know that a year ago, 2 years ago, they thought B.J. would be the starting point guard. Now he's still the backup to John Paxson. There were rumors that he was being shopped around in the summer. How long is it going to be before he's going to have to start? Because he's a very talented player. I mean, you know.
Yeah, but you see, he's a key to that second unit. He averaged right at 10 points a game for them last year. He's averaging 10 points right now. He has to understand his role. When you put Jordan in there with Pippen, Paxson is the perfect guy to play with him out on the perimeter because of his outstanding perimeter shooting.
That's what Paxson does without the ball. Geiger misses the jam. He goes hard to the floor, and Billy Burton gets a hand in there.
Now, hold on. We're going to have a quiz here. How many shots has Miami? How many have they missed inside the 3 feet? I mean, it's over double figures, Ron, okay? They're getting inside. Now, this is just typical right here. We have guys 6'10" to 7 foot missing all of these shots inside of 3 feet. Now, are they being... Well, what's the big reason? The big reason is Chicago contests every single shot. There are no gimmies against the Chicago Bulls, even in an exhibition game. You're going to have to make it, and if you think you're going to make it and it's going to be too easy, they foul you hard and they tell you, hey, make the 2 foul shots.
Will Perdue has checked in. Stacey King has come out. And Scottie Pippen made the first. He'll have a second.
Said in that first half, Will Perdue 2 for 4, but how about the 7 rebounds? 5 at the offensive end of the floor.
Pippen misses the second. He's now 3 of 5 from the line, but the lead is 23 as we are at the 2-minute mark of the third quarter. Trent Tucker set to check in for the Bulls. Inside to Sally. A lot of congestion, though. Sally was looking for one thing. That was the shot. That'll be no basket. Illegal defense called on the Bulls. That is their second. That is a technical foul. And Trent Tucker comes into the lineup, the 12th-year pro out of Minnesota. Played for San Antonio last year, about 24 games. Pippen sits down.
Well, they're happy with Tucker right now. He gives them a good defensive second guard to back up Jordan at 6'5". He's an outstanding three-point shooter. Throughout his entire career, he's a 40% three-point shooter. One of the best ever in the game, right there with the Craig Hodges and the Larry Birds. And so you know that he has something to offer this basketball team. He has the experience of playing in the playoffs for all those years in New York. So it's going to be interesting. The call is, do they stay with the young guards like a JoJo English, or do they go with a veteran to back up Jordan in a Trent Tucker?
Rice 15 points this quarter. Morton just loses the handle. 3 Bulls break out of the pack. Armstrong pushing it up. But don't you think that Chicago is going to miss Craig Hodges, because he can sit for a month, come in, hit 4 threes right away? That's a tough, a player to lose, that type of player.
But what happened, though, down the playoffs in the last couple of years, as soon as he comes in the game now, everybody is taking him right to the low post and posting him up.
Armstrong's shot won't find the net. Morton comes out of the pack leading a 3-on-2, and they lose it again.
Stop the mustard.
Goodness.
You know the old story. Stop the mustard. You're down the park, right? You stop the game. You tell the guy, listen, you stop passing the ball with one hand, catch the ball with 2 hands, because if we don't score 11 baskets first, we got to sit down for 3 hours. We can't get a game. Okay? Make the meat and potato passes.
Too much French pastry. Grant will try it again, and this time Horace goes from the left side, and He's able to knock it down, and Grant now with 15 for the ball game.
See, Morton's upset. You know, he's yelling at Geiger. Geiger said it's my fault. It wasn't Geiger's fault. That was a bad pass.
Right.
All right. That was really a bad pass by Morton. And I think as fatigue is setting in here on Morton in this quarter, he's becoming lackadaisical with the ball in the last minute here, Ron.
Talk about Miami's woes offensively. Last year, they were fewest in the NBA in assists. This is a team that scored 105 points a game.
Well, 25 a game is good. In the first half, Miami had 5 assists.
They have a total of 11 now. 25 will be difficult to reach. Well, Matt Geiger gets a forearm shiver, I think, from Will Perdue in the back.
See, in fairness to Miami, Kevin Lockery said they have spent 80% of their practices. Now, here's that play right here. Now, you're going to see it right inside. Will Perdue, you know, definitely put an extra shot that time on Geiger. But then again, that's okay in the Southeast Conference, right?
I'd say if he were to do that, he'd be starting for Vanderbilt.
He'd be a linebacker.
He'd be a linebacker, yeah, definitely. He'd let her. Geiger misses the first, and he'll get another. He was a 71% free throw shooter for Bobby Cremins.
See, getting back to Kevin was telling us today that the Miami Heat coaching staff felt that this ball club's got to get better defensively, so they spend 80% of their practices on defense. They only have 20% of their offense in. But if you really think about it, tonight, they have missed over 10 baskets in tight, did not get the second shot. Oop, there goes Chicago. Now, you make those, we'd have a nice game going on here.
Joe Courtney is checked into the lineup for Chicago, wearing jersey number 30, the 6'8" rookie free agent out of Southern Miss. He's a big one, stands 240 as the shot clock goes off and the quarter ends. That's the way it is. 12 minutes left to be played in the ball game. The Bulls have opened up a big advantage. They lead at 92-68. We'll be back to the Miami Arena with more Heat and Bulls basketball in a moment. Minutes left in the game with the Bulls and the Heat. Bulls on top handily 92-68 as part of the We Will Rebuild campaign. Once again, 1-800-551-1010 is the phone number. Please give it a call and donate money, time, anything you possibly can. Churches, scout groups, please, they still need help here in South Florida. B.J. Armstrong, Trent Tucker, Rodney McRae, Will Perdue, and Joe Courtney for the Chicago Bulls. Harold Miner is checked into the lineup for the Miami Heat. He's joined by Alan Ogg, Bimbo Coles, Kevin Edwards. Turn around by Perdue as the shot clock goes off, won't go. Coles had Askin streaking, didn't get it to him. Here's Ogg, and Perdue gets a piece of it.
Nice pass. Nice pass by Bimbo Coles that time. Right now, both coaches, they have guys that are competing out on the floor for that second unit spot. What you would like to see them do is you want to see them play good defense first, try to take care of the boards, and then at the offensive end of the floor, please run what we're trying to run from an offensive philosophy. Take good shots, and then be unselfish. Make the extra pass. And the players out there know that there's a lot of pressure on them. They know that, hey, they're only going to get so many more looks. This is the third exhibition game for both teams. They know that they'll probably only see maybe one more exhibition game, so the pressure's on them to look good.
Rodney McRae over Edwards rather handily.
By the way, speaking of looking good, Rodney McRae has looked very good tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Moving well, playing good defense. Shot won't go down.
And, you know, he's been doing a nice job for them. He's been averaging 11 points in the 2 previous games. But they know that he can defend. See, that's what they're looking for. A good defender backing up Scottie Pippen.
Well, they talk about losing Byron Houston, the draft pick out of Oklahoma State, as Trent Tucker nails the three. That is what he does so well. But they said when you have a player the caliber of Rodney McRae sitting around, they just couldn't take a chance of passing on him. Miner with the left hand, and he is a southpaw, uses it effectively. 9 for Baby Jordan.
I like him when he's on the move with the dribble, Ron. Miner. I think that he makes a lot of things happen.
Purdue working on Ogg. He uses his left hand, doesn't get it. Askins takes it away from McCray. Coles has a chance 4-on-2. Once again, Coach really didn't take advantage of it as Edwards' shot goes awry. They had a 4-on-2 again.
Well, it's been a night of not being able to execute the fast break. And, you know, you say it so many times, you say, you know, that team can finish. That team can finish. Chicago finishes the break. They get something, either a basket or they get on the foul line. Tonight, Miami, it's been an exasperating night for them.
Purdue with 2 on the shot
clock. Nice move.
6 for Big Will. Has 8 rebounds to go along with that. The lead now 28. 9 minutes and 15 seconds left. Our total, by the way, on the 1-800 number now over $72,000. Keep it going, folks. We want 100,000. Ogg shot won't go. Armstrong does. Tucker to Purdue.
See, this is an experienced group out here for Chicago. You know, you're talking Armstrong and Tucker, Rodney McCray, Will Purdue. You know, Courtney's the only guy in there, you know, who's really has never had NBA experience.
Armstrong with 1 on the shot clock, doesn't get it to go. Purdue there for the follow, but we've got a whistle, and it goes out. Chicago still has it. We've got a timeout. 8:41 left to play in the ball game. The Bulls lead at 99-71, and TNT would like to recognize the sponsors of tonight's game, and once again thank them for their support in the hurricane relief effort. One of our sponsors for tonight's game is your friends at Anheuser-Busch, who donated nearly 3 million cans of water to areas stricken by Hurricane Andrew, and whose Busch Gardens in Tampa help rescue animals stranded at the Miami Metro Zoo. Once again, we thank all of our sponsors for tonight's help, as everything for tonight's game, by the way, is being donated. Now let's go to the telethon room or to Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, thanks, Ron. Traditionally, here on the Florida East Coast, the term hurricane has been more prone to be associated with the striking power of the University of Miami football team, ranked #1 in the country. That is until Hurricane Andrew. With me, Michael Barrow, of course, is well known on the football field as well as off. You live in the area. You were devastated. You couldn't reach your mom, your brother. What was it like?
Like you said, it was devastating. Just to go down there, it seemed like a bomb just hit the place. I mean, every time, the further I went down south, more roofs was off the homes and stuff like that. Once I got out of my car, my mom was crying. All I wanted to do, I was just so happy she was okay. I was just hugging her and stuff, telling her everything's going to be all right. It was devastating that first day, but so far everything has been working out well. You had different organizations coming down helping people rebuild, help them press on. But right now, it's a lot of stuff lost spiritually. People are not excited like they used to be. They're really down. It's more of a ghost town down there.
What do they need?
I think this is a good step. They need support from other people. They need people like the Michael Jordans and the other celebrities to come down and just help them out spiritually, to help them to say that everything's going to be okay, to keep the faith, because rebuilding takes time, especially when you try to rebuild the right way. It's going to take a lot of time.
We have a phone call. Go ahead and pick it up. We'll have more from this room in a few moments, but now let's go back to Ron.
You know, I would like to say something. I thought Louis Chaffel and Billy Cunningham told a good story today. When Miami Heat players and the staff went down there and were distributing the food, people waited in lines for 3 hours. 3 hours for water. They'd go to another line, 3 hours for food. Go to another line, 3 hours for supplies. And some of the players were saying, you know, the people just seem like they're not thankful. Right. That's because the people were in a daze, just like what that young man said right there. They're psychologically, they're really beaten, because once they got those supplies, there was no home to go to. They were going to live in tents.
There was no place to take the food they got. Courtney with his first 2 of the ball game. That was quite a statement by that young man from the Miami Hurricanes. So the people are moving into their mobile homes now, their trailers, and they're realizing they don't have pots and pans, dishes, silverware, napkins, the basic supplies. Coles tries to dish it to Ogg. Tucker just takes it away.
The name of the game is basketball, but the way you become good at it is spacing. You have to have court spacing. Right now, Miami, they're getting too many guys in the same areas, and what's happening? The guy has an open shot. All of a sudden, another player brings a defensive player to him.
Oh, I tell you what, I wanted to see that. I wanted to see Baby Jordan, Harold Miner, go up strong on that.
Well, no doubt about it. He can elevate. See the explosion right here. And when he sends it down, he sends it down with authority. If you notice, he's always on the foul line, because guards are going to have a lot of difficulty with this guy. This guy can dribble. He can change direction on a dime. And then even if you're right with him, you take all of his fakes. Once he elevates, he's going to get off a good shot. And then he's got that little advantage. He's a left-hander.
That's right. And that's a bigger advantage than a lot of people realize. JoJo English checks into the lineup along with Corey Williams and Anderson Hunt for the Bulls. Once again, 1-800-551-1010. We only have $751 left in the game. We really want to get up to $100,000, my friends. Please find it in your heart to give the number a call. 101-73. We appreciate all of you tuning in tonight for this special game on TNT. Will Perdue, nice little right-handed shot there.
Will has shown a lot tonight with his back to the basket. Not only the right-handed hooks, but also the ones from the left side.
8 points, 9 rebounds, 6 of those offensively. The shot goes again by Harold Miner.
The big part of his game is the quick dribble and the change of directions. Many times he goes back and forth between his legs. Keep an eye on the dribble. See, there he goes. He gets that half a step on you, and then once you commit, he'll elevate right up over the top of you. See, that was a beautiful move. Now, even though the defender played him well, he still out jumps you and he gets a shot off.
This is the free throw, goes out. That'll be Chicago's ball. We have a second. We'd like to thank Jerry Reinsdorf and Jerry Krause of the Chicago Bulls, and of course Louis Chaffel and Billy Cunningham here in Miami. Pauline Winnick of the Miami Heat, whose house was destroyed in Hurricane Andrew, who has really taken this project to heart, and we appreciate her inspiration to all of us who have listened to her stories. And of course the NBA, the Commissioner David Stern, John Kozner, and all our friends there who have helped make tonight's game possible. Gentlemen, we thank you so much, and especially you watching tonight. 103-75, 7:08 left.
You know, right now, the Miami Heat are in a lot of trouble, Ron. Grant Long, not signed. Steve Smith, knee surgery. And now Ron Cycli with a mystery hip ailment. That's your 3 best players.
That's tough, and the roles on this team aren't defined. Add to that the fact that nobody knows who's going to make the team yet. JoJo English wanted the foul, didn't get it. And that brings November 6th, the opening date, very close.
Nice pass.
Ooh, that was sweet.
My.
That was sweet.
See, you tell inside players, will you please keep your hands up? There was a good pass right through the traffic, and Og had one hand up, and he could not control the pass.
All right, we've got 6:40 left. It's all the Bulls, but it's still enjoyable.
We're back at the Miami Arena, the benefit basketball game, Hurricane Andrew. We will rebuild. This spring, he helped bring an NBA title to Chicago. This summer, he earned an Olympic gold medal. This fall, a gift from the heart, Scottie Pippen. Tell us about your involvement, first of all, in this game, what your reaction was.
Well, it was just great. I thought it was a great idea that Michael came up with it. And, you know, I think it was something that we wanted to do to kind of help the kids here have an opportunity to see an NBA game. And also, I think what we're doing here is really giving some quality time to raise some money to help them out.
We talk about the area, we show pictures, but there's really no way to explain until you see the kids' faces that we saw today.
Well, definitely. I mean, you kind of lay your heart on the line for them. You feel very sorry for them, but, you know, life goes on, and hopefully they can bounce back from it.
The whole purpose tonight, not to raise money, but to bring victory out of chaos. Ron?
All right, Craig, thank you very much. You and Scottie Pippen, and we saw Harold Miner take the elevator to the 11th floor and left everybody else at the 8th, I think. What a jump shot by that young man. 103-77. JoJo English from the outside for 3.
JoJo English can make the 3. Big 3-point shooter in college. He can also take you off the dribble. He's got good size for a second guard. And right now it is big competition between Corey Williams and JoJo English and Trent Tucker for 2 of the 3 guard spots.
That is Anderson Hunt moving up on Bimbo Coles. Anderson gets a left hand on him, whistle for the foul. Hunt's first personal foul.
See, it's difficult for Anderson Hunt to make a team.
in this league, especially a team like Chicago, at the 2-guard position because of his size. And if you're going to play at that size, you just have to be such a great scorer, and you have to, you know, really have a tremendous offensive talent.
It's only 6'2", if that. The ball will belong to the Chicago Bulls with 5:50 left to be played. 1-800-551-1010. We'll give you an update on how much money we've raised so far in just a moment. Please call.
You can get by with small guards if you extend the defense down the floor. You do a lot of pressing and trapping at full court, full court, three-quarter court. That way you can hide the guards as the clock runs down.
There is Hunt. The high archer won't go. Coles pushes it up. Ricky Blanton set to check into the lineup for Chicago. Miner on top, given a lot of room by Joe Courtney. Loses the handle. Anderson Hunt picks his back pocket.
Well, he bounced it off his heel.
And then Anderson Hunt throws it away. Ricky Blanton will check into the lineup for Chicago. Joe Courtney will sit down. And with 5:12 left to be played, it is a 106-77 ball game. Chicago on top.
You know, what's interesting tonight is the fact that, Ron, the Miami Heat, in their transition, they cannot get a 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 score off the break because no one seems to be able to break down his defensive player. But then again, you can say that's because the Chicago Bulls are so good in transition defense.
Anderson Hunt tries to dribble through a crowd after coming up with a steal. He's tripped on the play. And the foul will be on Keith Askin.
Foul number 2,
Keith. His second. 106-77. Chicago inbounding with JoJo English. Corey Williams from Oklahoma State, playing for Eddie Sutton there last year, finds a little wet spot. He slips. And Miners whistled for the foul.
He's a tenacious defender, no doubt about that. He really gets up in there, makes things happen from a defensive standpoint, Corey Williams. And he's been doing well from an offensive standpoint in the exhibition games. Anytime that he gets his chance, gets a few minutes, you know, he's able to get some points on the board.
At the line, Corey Williams.
Member of the all Big 8 defensive team. Misses the first. You have to score this evening.
See, in the first 2 exhibition games, he's averaging 8.5 points a game. That's doing a good job. See, some of the veterans like him because they say he's very quick and he makes good decisions with the basketball in their half-court offense, which to them is key.
We've got a whistle and a foul. I'd say just what I've seen tonight, Chicago is still a very strong basketball team. As they look to becoming the 3rd team to win 3 NBA titles in a row.
Now, wait a second. Did Jordan, Grant, and Pippen go away or what? I mean, did you come down here tonight thinking they weren't here?
Well, you know, you're just not sure in exhibition games. But I tell you, there's guys that have impressed us tonight on Chicago's team that I think Will Perdue, the job he's done. Stacey King played well tonight. And these are people that Phil Jackson said before the game that he's very pleased with their work habits and what they've done. And I think for some reason, I guess associate inside Corey Williams for 2. Losing Cliff Livingston, Craig Hodges, your chemistry gets thrown off, and you're not sure how that chemistry is going to be.
Also, Bobby Hansen. Bobby did a nice job. Did a nice job for them last
year. Inside, Askins with his first field goal in the second half. He has 6 for the ball game. Ball knocked out by Askins. 3:54 left to be played. 16 on the shot clock. Anderson Hunt gets Coles up in the air, but Cole recuperates. Inside, the turnaround by the former Notre Dame star Keith Tower won't go. Ball loose. Ogg had a piece of it. Blanton had a shot at it. Ends up in the hands of Anderson Hunt. Inside of 3.5 minutes. Tower